Welcome to Stuck, Time to Improv. I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff, and I want startups to be wildly successful. We're going to be talking with Chris Jackson today from EOS Worldwide, and we've got some really good advice for early stage startups. So thanks for coming, Chris.
Well, thanks for having me here, Mary. I'm doing this EOS thing just to make sure that I can help early stage businesses like the folks you deal with.
Exactly. So, what are some of the frequently asked questions you get?
A lot of times, folks come in and they think they can do all things. So it's not one specific question, but they come in and think that they can do all things. And really being successful with a business is about focus. And early stage founders don't need a manifesto. They just need a little bit of clarity to define who they are and what problem they're specifically solving and getting very focused early on the stage. So that's kind of what I see more than often. They're just so diversely broad in the market, just trying to get revenue wherever they can. They're not focused, and that creates the biggest problems.
Sure. So, it's about what problem do you want to solve first? We're
Yeah.
not getting rid of all of them. We're just putting them in some kind of priority order, right?
I think solving the problems and learning how to anticipate problems is a key leadership trait that folks tend to underestimate. But focus and crystallizing the vision is far more important in terms of understanding what market you're serving, how you're going to serve that market, and what problem you're specifically solving that's relevant, not just in the current market, but more importantly, what's to come over the next 12 to 18 months. The other thing that I tend to see is that, it's important to be comfortable failing and understanding how to fail fast. A lot of startups kind of build things in a vacuum and they don't really iterate through customers, test the premise, and validate the patterns against what somebody may be willing to pay for a solution. So it's important to kind of do that basic thing. And sometimes people spend so much time on the details and the website and all the other things. A lot of times, just got to get out there, get your hands dirty, start iterating. And then once you've kind of proven that out, now you can say, hey, I've got a viable market to kind of focus on.
Right. Particularly the tech folks. They love coding. They love tweaking their coding, and they haven't actually talked to customers, potential customers, about is this app what you need to solve a problem? And can we launch something with way fewer bells and whistles and build it out later, depending on what the requests for additional things are?
And that's important. And you're touching on a couple points that I think a lot of folks need to really think about. So as we're entering this stage of where we've got broad change, AI is taking hold of a lot of other areas, specifically software development. We have to understand that the AI tools we augment and use to develop software, they reflect us. So if I'm an introverted developer, I don't communicate with my users, that's going to come across in how my AI acts. And I'm passing those behaviors on to how the AI responds to create software for me. So understanding who the customer is and the problem early on, that's critical. But those emotional and soft-sided skills become far more important. And I think we're going to see something where the arts and liberal arts type of skills will come back into vogue because AI will do the rigorous engineering and mathematical things, but it's the nuanced personal side of things that really touches the customer end of software that we've got to start thinking about.
Which also speaks to the point that you need to know who you are. And you need to potentially get a partner, a spokesperson, someone who can communicate in ways that you're not comfortable communicating, just so that it's all in the interest of what's best for your customer.
Oh, and the marketplace. So a lot of times, entrepreneurs get in there. I'm solving a problem. I'm creating something. Well, they also forget the fact that they're a salesperson now. If you're a business owner, you're a salesperson. Like it or not, regardless of what you think about sales, you have to get out and talk about your solution, the problems you're solving, what you're doing. So you're persistently selling to get funds, revenue, support, and understanding of the product you've developed.
Right. And especially for those tech folks, it's 30% working on your tech and 70% sales.
I would argue maybe a little less in tech than that when you look at what AI is able to do. Anthropic's got they're running 9 hours of pristine code, uh, fairly complex code. So you think about that. That's a new hire out of college and in an apprentice type model. So that's effective now. So think about what that's going to mean in terms of that. So it's less coding,
Right.
more than articulating this is the value in a very detailed manner about what I'm trying to create.
So really knowing what problem you're solving, for whom you're solving it, and what makes you uniquely qualified to solve this problem.
Yes, yes, very, very much so. And that's the beauty of EOS. EOS is very simple in its design, simple, proven tools. And it starts off with getting answering 8 basic questions, understanding and how to crystallize a vision for the organization, get it out of that entrepreneur's head into the hands of the leadership team. So that once they do that and the leadership team is strong, they all are aligned on the vision, they're rowing in the same direction, they will begin to see tremendous value. And that becomes magical once you do that effectively and the leadership team is strong, that they then share that by all through the organization. And that's the thing that entrepreneurs have to think about. They've got these great ideas in their heads, but they've got to get them down so everyone around them understands them so they can mobilize a team to execute against that vision.
Exactly. Well, this has been really fascinating. Really good tips, really interesting stuff. We will put links in the comments so people can find out more about EOS and contact you if they need to. So thank you so much, Chris Jackson. And I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff. I want startups to be wildly successful. And one of the best things you can do to accomplish that is book a call with me at businessriff.com. And join us again next time for Stuck, Time to Improv.